Okay. Where's the game? There it is. Hey, everything's up and running. And just completely ignore the entire intro I did before. That's on a different stream now. I guess I'll just leave a message on my Twitch after the fact. I'll do like a separate stream later where I'll just talk to camera and explain what the hell's happening. That's all I was trying to do and be like, it's our last stream here. Anyway. Alright, we got the wandering eye. Everything's working.
Cool.
Ooh. Oh yeah. My gun shoots an X Factor. Where are you guys? Oh, I see you're just wandering around.
Oh, I'm just fucking around.
Alright, can I teleport us?
Hell yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Oh, as soon as you're out of a menu, Dave.
Okay, there we go.
What are you doing?
Being a monster.
Store.
I saw the video.
The monster.
I saw the video of her watching the whatever bouncing thing on the screen, and it was just adorable.
Wasn't that funny?
Looked like she was going to get it. She was going to get it so good.
Yeah, she is gonna get it. She's a tough girl.
Oh, where's Dave?
Where's Dave?
Huh?
Dave?
I'm here. Wait, can you not hear me?
Can't see you.
Oh, where is your body? Where is your
Oh, I
person?
think my game crashed.
Oh, then. Okay, good to know. Boing.
Oh, Dave has left the game. There it is.
Yeah, I was all tabbed out because I was trying to turn on the hardware monitor. 'Cause I'm like trying to figure out fucking like frame droppage.
Oh, you need, if you're going to be doing that, you should be on display mode. Should be in borderless if it's not already.
Oh.
Don't be in full screen. That'll cause a lot of problems.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Borderless allows you to seamlessly just like move to other windows. It even runs. I think
Yeah,
it's ideal for multitasking for sure.
Shit.
Oh yeah, Al, check this out.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I'm so I like your laser. I can see where you're pointing. Your support from afar. Oh, what? What the fuck? What the hell is that? This is a shotgun?
Yes.
I thought it was a sniper, but no. It's a laser guided shotgun that does a crescent? Is that what it is? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you got a single beam.
Straight line from my perspective.
Yeah, it's a straight line.
Yeah.
It's a straight line. Mine's the just cross version of that. Mine does electric and poison.
Mine just does poison, but it's still pretty cool. I just wanted to try it, and then it looked really neat. So I thought I'd play with it for a bit. Just like my dick.
I wanted to tell you a bit about that ChatGPT thing that I was talking to.
Yeah.
Dave's already heard a bit of this, but I wanted to mention like just some of the game design stuff I talked to it about. I did just as an aside, I did get to play D&D with it sort of, where I DM'd and the chatbot
so cool.
kind of played. It didn't understand. You have to kind of tell it what to assume and what to expect, but it kind of sort of gets it. Like it doesn't understand. It's weird. It's best to like phrase it that way in terms of like being able to describe what's happening, but it's not in any way anything like a human understands. It's just more like strong associations of what is. It's glorified T9 is what it is. That's all these chat things are, these AIs. It's glorified predictive text. But yeah, no, I had some interesting conversations with it about game design. After only a couple of prompts, I basically had it designing card catacombs.
That's neat.
Like basically I gave it the outline of like it needs to be a roguelike RPG card game using playing cards, and then from there, after a few prompts, it like was helping me riff on what the different advanced classes can be and stuff, and I'm like, it was such a joy. It was giving me some ideas that I could consider. I wouldn't necessarily have to fully adopt, but you know, it's kind of like a brainstorming tool of sorts. Also talked to it about the shaman game and the jaguar ability, like the shape-shifting in that.
Yeah.
And it gave me some great ideas for that too, including, oh, hey, Dave's here. including it suggested a visual effect that I didn't consider, which was when you're in Jaguar vision, that the edges of the screen should be blurred, and you should have almost like a tunnel vision where the middle is like super focused and almost magnified, and then everything else is kind of in a blur because it'd be like their heightened senses and stuff. And
I like that. I like that. Yeah.
well, there were some things, and I asked it. Five was impressed that I asked it to write a hopeful and then a not so hopeful essay about the future of textile recycling, and it did it. It wrote a broad essay on both, making good, real, actual points on both sides. So it's almost like very helpful in steel manning somebody's argument like your opponent's argument when trying to make an essay or a speech. But I had it write a text-based adventure about a dog trying to get home, and it nice. Oh, I haven't been paying attention to where we're going. Where does it want us to go? We didn't pass it, did we? No. We gotta go. Fuck. How do we get up?
C for effort. C minus.
Okay. There is a... Oh, apparently there's an obelisk nearby.
Huh.
Which we didn't do. Which we can do on the way over. You want to do an obelisk on the way over?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
I hate you and you.
You're
okay.
This way. Yeah, anyway, chatting with the GPT has been interesting. I've been able to ask it advice on playing Civ 4, of playing some game called RimWorld that Flynn is into. He gave it like an exact scenario, and it like gave him some suggestions on how to proceed to move forward. Very strange. It can also write code.
Gun turns into a bird.
Well, what, like when you...
When it reloads, it turns into a bird.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Oh, you can spam that. You can just, like, spam the reload button and may send a lot of birds off. Yeah. Nice.
That was interesting. I'm not much of a shotgun player, but this is interesting.
Oh, this way. Behind the waterfall. Ooh. Alright. Let's do it. Bring it. Bring it. Where are we? Woohoo! This way and this way. Ooh, badass. Getting some choppiness here.
Me too. Oh wow, yeah, I'm getting like 30, 40 frames a second. Or whatever.
Yeah, same. I'm getting well above 50, but spiking a lot. Probably just a lot going on. I don't know. Kill a coil thing named Leisha. Hey, what the hell just killed me?
There was one guy left.
Oh,
He's gone now.
thank you. Thank
No
you.
worries, buddy.
Okay, that. What do we got?
Ooh, new spell.
We got Impaling Ice Spike of Doubling Down. No.
What's this? Umbral Threads of the Fate.
Oh, there's a guy over there. Who invited you, sir?
Never said a
Ooh, I like it.
What the fuck is that?
That's my new spell.
What the fuck? That is
Yeah,
wicked.
It's called Umbral Threads of Fate. Watch me unravel.
Is it like a special? Like, is it a legendary?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, is this? Oh, is this gun?
Just close the door, honey.
Oh, it is this gun. That's unfair. Cool. We are OP. Let's go kick some ass.
They have points to spend, apparently.
Oh, yeah, same. Yeah, let's stop real quick. Nobody's shooting us. Mythic rank. Wait, no. Yeah, mythic rank. Oh, you know I want some strength. Cool. So that makes me a 43. Weird.
Beastly, go on the bed. Right now. Go lay on the bed. Right now. Go and lay on the bed. Go on the bed. Get on there. Okay, guys, just give me a second. I want to check in and get this guy set in. Lay down. Go lay down. Lay down.
Check my my graphics options real quick. Did you just proc those guys? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think I was that close.
Shit, I'm in a menu. Damn it.
Damn it. I got a lot more range than I thought.
Okay, they're dead. I'm going back in my menu. Stop going over there. You procced another one.
Where? Oh my god, where did...
Please, I'm on a menu. Please get it.
What is that horrible beeping sound?
That's Al's smoke alarm that I turned on for them. I guess they've set off.
Oh, that's an idea. A little smirk.
Ambient occlusion.
Everything's fine.
I don't know what to turn on. Or turn down.
Christ. Thanks for fixing the
For
smoke
what?
alarm there, Al.
Yeah, at least it works. What was that?
It sure does. Well, I was heating up pie. And
Pie.
I love you. Go lay down. All of you. Bedtime. Enough of this.
Stupid dog.
Yeah, you're done.
I don't want to turn down anything.
Go to bed.
All right.
You're done.
Just sitting here idling in this area here, and I'm going to stand side by side with you. Right now I'm seeing 58, 59.
Yeah,
Just looking at the wall right now.
I'm getting like 59, 60, that kind of thing, sitting here doing nothing.
Now, how come you're limiting the 60? I thought your monitor goes past that.
Relax.
It can, but I was trying to see if it would make it a little bit smoother, so I was just capping it at 60 to see how that played for a bit.
Right. But I thought, where is it? Huh.
I might try turning it back up though, because I don't think it's making it.
No, let it go higher if it can go higher. It's always going to be better. Or cap it at something like 90 or 120 or something. I guess your monitors does the variable refresh rate, right?
It can, or I can set it to 60 or 120 or 140, or even all the way up to 170, which seems just ridiculous.
That does seem ridiculous, yeah. I don't know. I think that's only like needed by professionals.
Yeah.
People who make money from their gaming. Get them sponsorship deals where they make really, really awkward commercials for YouTube. Oh yeah, there is. It looks like that was my bad. Oh yeah, very dead. Are we ready to roll out? Yeah, everything all good? Sweet.
Yes.
Kitty.
I think this way. Let me check the map. This is the way.
All right.
Hey. Remember those guys?
Handsome guys.
Hmm.
No, it's set the
You spy!
monitor set to 140, and I just set the game to unlimited FPSs, and I'm still only getting like up to 70.
Could just be this area or something. Maybe it's not very optimized. You coming, Dave?
Yeah, I
Oh.
track where you guys went.
There's a gold thing right there. What is that?
Gas.
Did we not get this yet? Did we not find a way up? I thought we found a way up there. Maybe we didn't.
Oh, maybe not.
Huh. Yeah. Wait, let me look at the map. That looks like...
It looks like it should be right around this ledge.
Oh, shoot. I thought that's the way we were going to get up. We have to get up that way. Okay. Let's go this way.
Aha!
What? You got up there?
I was trying to. I was scaling it and then I fell.
All right.
I was like, yes, no.
We got to go up, left, and around over this bridge here. Above us.
Ah, fuck yeah, I'm over.
What? Damn it.
Did it.
Okay.
Ow.
All right. Well, then I'm just gonna run
What's the
past.
sparkly thing?
I'm just gonna run past all the enemies.
yeah.
I don't know. Try to hit it.
Too.
Mine from the
Sick.
9.5 hells.
What was it? Oh, poetry page. Okay.
Poetry.
From last time at
Oh,
Smile.
oh.
Did you like
It's a
that poem?
cosmetic that I
You can
already
hear the
know.
rest of it at the tavern in Rifle.
Where are you? I'm running the long way around. I'll be right there.
All right, while you're doing that, I'm going to take a quick peek at my inventory here and see what I picked up. Anything worthwhile? Nope, and nope.
I'm eating half-price pie.
Hell yeah.
Half-price pie. $3.50 for a whole pie.
That's pretty decent.
Okay, go here.
I wish you
Don't
guys could
Fred
see.
my bed.
Dogs are kissing in the corner.
The dogs are what?
Kissing.
Oh,
They
kiss
were
guy.
Kissing.
lip to lip.
Aw.
They're very cute.
First, I thought you said pissing in the corner, and I was
Oh.
like, "They're what now?"
No.
That's not as cute.
No,
No, not
Lay
at
down,
all.
Beasley. Good boy.
like they're what? That's the
Murder
greatest
things.
spell ever. What is this? I gotta try this.
Yeah? Murder? Murder? Murder?
Murder, murder.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Through here. There's a whole dark chunk that we haven't even explored yet in this
Oh, yeah.
area. Yeah.
Hmm.
And this is going to take us right through it. We'll get to explore it. Whoa.
Oh,
Help.
I dropped a fish on Dave.
Well, that settles it.
Come on.
What did that even do?
Huh?
I don't know. I just used my new spell, but I can't even tell what it did. I guess it damaged stuff, maybe.
I don't know. I didn't see it pop off.
Casting spell.
There you go. Yeah.
Can't wait to throw
Seems to
some
flash an
spells.
area with some stuff. Yeah. I got anything to sell already? Yeah, 2 cosmetics taking up room.
Name was slightly overblown. I don't see why that was called the greatest spell ever.
How did I end up with that? I don't remember picking this up.
What?
Oh, it just was some green stuff. I didn't remember.
Oh.
picking it up.
It's like you're on a Sunny D commercial and you're just looking through the fridge. It's like,
You're like,
what we
I
got?
have this.
Oh, and some
Yeah.
green stuff and oh, hey, Sunny D.
That's exactly what that is.
Sunny D's the legendary, right? Why is this lit up? Well, you're not meant to do it that way. Alright, we engaging? I'm engaging. Whee!
Whoa, that spell is nuts. Look what it's doing.
Oh, I don't see it. I believe you. Up I go. Wee. Come on. Come on. Wee. Oh well. Are they all dead?
Oh, someone's shooting at me. I see you.
Okay. Oh, we just procced. There's a whole bunch now.
God damn it.
Oh god.
Here we go. Whee! Ooh, legendary drop. What do you got? Necklace. Where are they? Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I don't know what's up with those. Those might be a different quest, and it might require us to do something else to activate them or something. But oh, there's an area transition right here too. Oh, that's underneath us. Never mind. Oh. Okay.
Hold on to something.
Here we go. Are they above me? How are they above me?
Yeah, they all appeared beside me. It was weird.
Ah, up. And now they're not up here.
There's a big chest up there, too. Ah, badass pirate captain.
Yeah, I see him. Here, he can get fucked. Somebody else still shooting at me. Hi. Oh, thank you for this barrel.
Little rot blossom.
Where are you guys? Oh, you're on the other side of the arena. Oh, okay.
Oh, I guess so, yeah.
Did you find anything over there? Because I've been over here the whole
There's a
time.
chest up there.
Yeah, there's
can
another
seize it.
badass over there. Killed it. I dropped a gold thing.
Oh, I'll go check it out. You said there was a chest up here?
Yeah,
Oh, over there. Oh, over there. Oh,
Yeah, there it is.
okay.
Ah, god damn it, I fell down.
Ooh. Yeah, I got a kobold to the deep. Now, where was that badass you guys fought? Ooh.
Right, pretty much see there, yeah. You just ran past where we killed it.
Yeah, right there.
Okay. Oh, I see a purple. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I bet there's probably like there's probably other things for us to find in this area. Let's give it a little sweep, little climby. Climb on everything.
Oh, I see what I picked up now. I got the Goblin Pickaxe of the Butcher.
Nice. That's a good one.
Pretty cool. It's
Go any
not
higher.
better than the ridiculous fire sword I have right now. But it spawns gold.
Yeah.
And gold gives a bunch of abilities. Okay, this is cool. Not that I ever use melee attacks.
Goblin pickaxes do the gold thing. Oh, there's a thing to shoot here. What's this do? Anchors away. Oh, what's this? Ooh, goes down. Ooh, there's a chest.
Some idiots hidden their loot over there.
There is an
Over there.
edge. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh.
Ancestral morning star of mirth. Let me take a good look at you. Melee kills, refills. Enchanted spell shot. What? Oh, it's for spell shots maybe? On melee kills, refills 50% of your currently equipped gun's loaded ammunition. What? Warrior. I can't tell if this is for spell shot or not, though. Well, I guess it says spell shot, so it must be for a spell shot. Well, that's too bad.
Wind trap. Wind trap.
Is that a name of a thing you found, or did you find a wind trap?
I I'm in front of a wind trap.
Where are you?
I was jumping. I was up high. I didn't go to where you guys were.
Oh.
Oh.
Just pushed me down. I'm coming to where you are.
I found a ghost pirate ship with a tiny little cannon and a lever that I assume can be activated as part of a quest later.
Oh yeah, look at that ghost ship. Yep.
Where was the
Ooh, I found a
chest that
dice.
you found?
Oh, it's down this way. Right.
I found a dice.
Down there.
Dices.
Ooh, a 17. Nice. Head up this ladder. Sure.
I should really stop responding when Kitten gets up and asks for attention because it's just going to make her do it more of a bad habit, I'm sure. She's just so adorable.
Hard not to pet your pussy.
Right. She's such a weird cat. She's a polydactyl. She's got thumbs, but it looks more like she has lobster claws. One of them
I
has.
said something about she's forming like a nail between her thumb.
Yeah,
her finger?
between her like thumb and her paw on one side, she's got like a full-fledged claw that sticks out. There's just like not really anything to cover it, or it doesn't really retract into anything, as far as I can tell. Yeah, it's weird. I hope it
The
doesn't
wind
gouge
trap
it.
I was talking about was just up here.
Okay, following you.
So I basically
I have no idea where you're
gotten on a rough.
Oh, I see it. I just found another
kick it
dice.
there.
What?
It's like out in the open. Yeah, this is like not even hidden.
Oh, over there? Sure. Go
Yeah,
right
it's just
around.
like
Why don't you
right
take it
here in
out?
this little alcove.
I see. Oh, I'm on the wrong side.
Boom. Chakalaka. Yeah. Ooh, what do we got? Ooh, even better. 17 than an 18. You know, if we're playing high or low, I would bet low for the next one. But yeah.
Yeah, probably. It's a good point. Where are we going?
Generally, in the direction that the quest thing is pointing us in, which is this way. But
Yeah.
I was trying to just suss out everything, make sure that we got everything. Yeah, seems pretty thorough. Oh. Nice. Dave, can you not trigger shit?
I just want to know what it's for. The wind trap must be for a reason, right?
Oh yeah, wind trap.
Because there's 2 platforms.
Okay, sorry. We got distracted by the die.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, there we go. Okay, where are we talking about here? Over here somewhere? I don't see anything. Oh, now it's active. It's active when you got over there. Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Ah.
Okay. I jumped.
Just wondered if there was a reason.
Weird.
Let's see. I see some treasure I didn't pick up, but no, I don't see anything. Weird.
Weird. Okay. Well, good to know.
Maybe you're supposed to use it to launch over to that big rock thing over there.
Oh.
I don't know.
Wait, what?
I don't know if that's even possible. I was looking at like which way the wind traps are facing. I'm like, could you use them to launch yourself somewhere? Do they work like that?
It blew me off and I did not go to the rock thing, just so you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's definitely not it.
Huh.
Weird. I wonder what it's for.
No. All right, let's move on.
Yeah. Oh, wait, this is the blue treasure that I missed before.
Yeah, same. Also, do you have points to spend?
I do not.
No?
Ooh, surprisingly.
All right. Well, I popped a mythic rank.
Cool.
Well, Lottie fucking dad.
30. Oh, I picked up a Oh, I picked up something for your spell shot, right, Dave?
Yes.
Oh, I picked up a legendary necklace.
Oh, interesting.
That's for spell shots. It is a infused universal soldier of confidence. Interesting. Oh, okay. Here, you can take a look.
Okay. Where'd it go?
It's behind you.
Oh, there it is. I'm just blind. Let's see what this thing is all about.
Looked pretty good. And now you have a melee weapon, and it seemed to be melee adjacent.
Oh, yeah. What am I rocking right now? Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Why not?
Hmm.
Is everybody looking at equipment?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
wanted
okay.
to know if I could get rid of something.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, I think I am too.
Oh, where's... No, wait for Al. Wait for Al.
Where are you? There you are.
Sorry, yeah. Oh, wrong button. That button. Explode a love barrel. Why, hello.
You're just in time. My dear LeChance, wind of my heart sail has been captured. It's that thieving pirate lord, Long Bronzed Gilbert. I aim to run him through with a rusty cutlass, but alas, he wears the most potent protection, LeChance's plot armor. After Gilbert sweet-talked his way onto our boat last night, he stole LeChance away and vanished. Must have been using that sea sorcery that's so popular here on the island. Go talk with the local witch doctor. You'll have to fight fire with fire.
I fell through the end of the wood. There was not enough hitbox. It was a lie.
Oh no.
I'm glad I didn't follow you out there.
No man can die when wearing it, so the legends go. But somehow, Gilbert pried the armor off LeChance. Unless...
Somehow.
No, he had to have used some magic devilry. The witch doctor's an old friend. Her magic's helped me out of many a sea pickle, which is like a sea cucumber.
Sea pickle,
but
eh?
tinier.
Okay, find someone who knows about plot armor. Oh, it's sending us over to the mini gun thing that you found.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's this sign? Firing range. Yeah,
Shit.
yeah, I like the symbol. That's kind of neat. What do you got, cannon attendant with a box on your head?
Ha.
Oh wait, no, this is not it.
Are you guys?
It's up further.
It's up
I
to...
don't
I
know.
feel like I've lost you.
I don't know. We're still in the same giant area. Over
Oh,
where
there
the
you are. Okay.
yeah. What?
There's a dude over here in a hat.
Oh, there.
Funnel on his head.
That's who we're talking
Is that the
to.
witch doctor? Oh, it is.
Yeah, that. She's just having a nap.
Funnel?
But
It's
she
just a
be
weird hat.
asleep, or in a trance, or a sleep trance. Find a way to wake her from her witchy slumbers.
Perhaps a good teabagging will
She
rouse
her. Have
Don't
eyes.
put me down.
Or
What is she
eyelids.
Deeper than a
Maybe.
sunken semi-mutation. But have no fear. There's a cannon not far that you
Yeah,
might
it's right here.
Short of course. Welcome to Yes We Cannon. Here for all your cannon needs. If you need something louder, we've got the powder.
I'm trying to hit it.
Here to give the blast, me lord.
Yes. There we go.
Oh, very
Uh,
quaint, don't you agree, me lord?
Yes, indeed.
Quaint.
Too quaint.
I need something louder.
Louder with Crowder.
Oh, you just sorry sons. The lordy wants it louder.
Louder and
Down
chowder.
below and swap her up with something what kicks proper. Let's show 'em what the Far Mountain Clan can do.
Oh, and I'm not dead yet. Not dead yet. Can I get back up?
Listen to me very closely,
Nope.
because this is
Uh,
important. I need the loudest cannon you have.
Yeah, I did.
Perfect. That's the one.
Very well. Dragon cannon, hoist!
I have a feeling the
Right,
Verns
you
are about to
dogs.
show up.
Raise high that elder board from which all worldly sorrows were shot. Today, we rouse the hells themselves.
Hell yeah.
Isn't this exciting?
Oh,
Oh,
it's
Put
wow.
your backs
It's
into it, you sorrow.
man. I think I need a minute.
Oh, man.
Just a moment more, I'm sure.
yeah, my POV right now.
My dick.
Jump here.
Oh, I am so sorry, me lordy. They're new.
Oh, I'm gonna hit it. Whee!
Ready, me lordy.
Me lordy.
All right. I'm awake.
What?
Wait.
What? Sorry. Just fired a giant cannon.
What's so bloody important that I couldn't get a little shut-eye?
Need to kill a man in plot armor. You know how to destroy it?
Destroy plot armor? Impossible! Unless you're a cunning witch doctor like myself. I can't destroy it per se.
With a magic belt.
But the curse of true character could turn a crusty coward into a smaller creature, and the armor would fall right off. Well, then again, they might transform into a vicious giant monster, depending on their character. Either or.
Well, half of that sounds promising at least.
Tell you
Whatever.
what, meet
Yeah,
around
we're-
this
I don't need
cavern,
it.
and we'll put the curse together. Together! It's a good thing you arrived when you did. A coven of coils showed up at my hut the other day.
Coils.
Lighting my magic cauldron for their own.
Coils and cauldrons.
But we need the proper ingredients first.
See, hags, comrades and concubines of Long Bronze Gilbert they are.
Long.
Bones! So it's you who wants to destroy some plot armor. Didn't LeChance own some? I thought you two were flotsam bound together in a foamy sea of love.
Aye, we are now and always will be. But the
My
child
crap.
has been kidnapped, and his plot armor sits on the burly chest of Long Bronze Gilbert. I won't rest till my love is in my arms and my blade in Gilbert's gut.
Anybody need to sell before we move on?
Already did.
Cool.
Already did.
Where's it taking us? Meet Witch Doctor at Ravenous Cavernous.
I'm just getting started.
There's a dice up there.
Yeah, I see that. I was trying. Ooh. Wait, can we make that jump? How about up here? Yes.
Oh,
It's my turn.
It's Elle's turn.
The more the dice, the better the loot.
I didn't even see the number, but whatever.
Is it?
All right. Lead anywhere? No. 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 Okay. That was a fun.
Oh, so glad that platform was there. Hey, there's something over here.
The sea dogs tell of a legendary predator known only as Pokey. Word is, the beast belongs to a salty old wench named Auntie Anchor. It's
Now we'll harvest the materials for the curse in this.
Yeah, we've dealt with Pookie. We had to walk Pookie. Wait. Take Hexcaster? Oh, sure. What's this do?
Now we'll need to collect curse essence from some sorry cursed souls.
Give me a thing.
Head to the grave of the bone-picked pirates.
No.
They
Where is
made
this
the
going?
mistake of spending a night in these haunted caves, only to be eaten alive by cursed crabs.
Ow.
Now they too share the curse, transforming to their true crabby form when they grow back. Summon them with the caster, and when they transform, put them out of their misery. We'll use their salty essence to make the curse.
That's a
Shit.
hole. That's a hole. That's a hole in the ground. Let me up. Let me up.
She's never failed to haul me backside out.
I don't know. I'm gonna die.
Once
I can't
she's
jump
got
back out.
children, I'm confident
Ooh.
Damn it.
That's some nice treasure. Too bad Al's dead.
Stop.
Love you.
Mm.
Oh, I saw a little.
Death to get the blood
He reloaded
flowing.
me.
Collect curse essences 04. Which way around does it want us to go? Oh, okay. This way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. New pistol. And mine's still better, I think. Oh yeah, mine's way better. Means. Huzzah!
I saw that.
I was hoping one of you were watching.
There, a couple of coils. Couple of Lacuna coils. Oh, did you see that, Dave, the charismatic voice reacted to Lacuna coil?
Oh,
Yeah.
a little bit behind on her video. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I don't watch every single one of them, but only the ones that I'm interested in, you know. That was one that just came up recently. Whee! A little over. I'm blocked, damn it. Come here. There. Oh, no, you don't. You're dead. Ooh. There's kill, and then there's what we did.
Yeah, that was wrong. I almost feel bad.
Let me double check the map. Is this... Yeah, this is where it wants us to go.
We got a point.
Yeah? Okay. I'll stop. Stop and spend your point. Ooh, there's 2 whole dark areas over here we can fill out. What we're about to do and an adjacent thing, which I'm sure it's going to take us to in a second. I had started over with another character just so that I definitely wouldn't step on
Really?
the toes of these characters. And I think she's at like level 9 right now. It's so cute.
Oh, awesome.
But started out as Stabomancer. And very crazy looking. Very gothy and crazy.
Oh, awesome. My other character is also about level 9. And he's a Stabomancer, but his name is Ricky Spanish.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah,
And
sometimes...
I use the overdrive, so,
Amazing.
he doesn't look very good. He looks like a hedgehog.
Nice.
But like a hedgehog who's trying to be trying to be a drag queen, but doesn't know what they're doing.
Right. Oh. Now that I know that, there's always the possibility that when Dave's busy, we can always play with side characters. If you ever want
yeah, we
to play
can.
together. Okay, I place the thing. What happens? Curse Sailor Mans. They're called Sailor Mans. Okay. Curse Crab Man. Crab Man.
Picture of the night.
I've never seen an adventurer so skilled at crushing crustaceans. Well
Okay.
done. But to complete the curse, I'll need my cauldron. I'll meet you at the
Another C word.
Oh.
She's all about these C words.
But beware, those coiled thrones have given more sailors peg legs than the diamond sword dagger scissors.
I bet they have. Giving them what end of the peg leg? All right. No, it's just you and me. Where's Al?
Right here.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that other area is currently closed to us. Oh wait, that's where we're supposed to go. Oh shit.
Come, let's send
What?
those sea hags back to the slithering sea whence they came. Grab my cauldron and prepare the curse.
What part's the cauldron? Oh, you mean in there? Let me see.
What? Who's that? Royal allies! Attack!
Yeah. Duh.
There they are.
Where'd they go?
Killed my royal allies.
Okay.
Approach me so I might look upon their killer.
What? This better still be a fight.
Whoever you are, you
This looks like it is.
you'll be joining the ranks of my
Oh.
undead crew.
Yeah.
Once we get dead first, that is.
I'm just starting. A little too early.
Crew,
Come on. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, and what a waste.
Hold out best you can. Old Bones is on his way.
There we go. Back up I go.
Dazzling spells no more.
Fire a broadside. And keep broadsides until further notice.
Ready to go. Heads off to the hereafter.
I love the smell of a cannonade in the morning.
Cannoning? Oh, cannoning. Did we get it? I think we killed them.
Eventually, the treacherous sea scallop flees back to his cave, I'm certain. I'm coming for you, Delbear. Tell the chance.
Ah, bad. Don't go that way. Don't go that way.
Sea hags wrecked my place. Oh, Bones, good thing you showed up.
It's been too long since our last adventure. Are you still a practitioner of the sea sorceress arts?
Would you be asking for my help if I wasn't? Now you, drop the curse essence into the cauldron.
Ah, 'tis a powerful kindness you do me. 1,000 thanks.
You're welcome, bud. Absolutely. Oh, what came out
Let
of
me
this?
ride in your ghost ship.
Well done, witch doctor. And you, me hearty, whatever your name or profession may be. Now to Long Bronze Gilbear's cave to rescue LaChance. We better get a move on. We've got a long walk, followed by a longer swim.
Frothing Luddite of Blast. I just love these
Oh, I'm
names.
insulted. Let me just whip up a portal for you.
We never cease to amaze. Come on.
All
You've
right
been
then.
with LaChance for many moons, Bones. Why haven't you made him your first mate for life?
'Tis a fair question.
Was I the only one that jumped through the portal?
Yep.
Bear six
Okay.
Yeah.
deep and LaChance
There's nothing over here fighting me, don't worry. We are in a new area. What? Look at the map. Holy shit.
Don't worry.
Upstairs.
I won't be mortal forever.
Okay.
Devastation inbound!
Well, okay. So, he doesn't want us to go.
Let's get casting and blasting!
Bullets beyond counting.
Oh, I really like that spell. That's really cool.
I do too. It's so weird. I like it a lot.
Yeah, we were meant to go up this way. Oh yeah.
Is it? Won't be enough.
All right, allies, let's go. Whee.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. What the fuck?
Oh, was that off of my thing? That's weird.
I think so.
It was affecting me a little bit, but... Huh. Alright, I'll be more careful.
It's alright.
Ah! Jeez! Who blasted
Oh, I
the
didn't
ice thing?
realize. I didn't mean to. I blasted this thingy.
Okay. Ooh, that almost murked me.
Sorry,
Oh,
buddy.
thank you for the... Hey, Dave, come get some health. You're almost dead.
Really?
Yeah, you have very little health. I don't know if you can see your life bar.
I wasn't really paying attention.
Now try to parley. No more blood needs to be shed, unless that blood be the
Ooh.
blood of long bronze
Another
bear.
skull, pretty skull cave thing.
Oh, neat.
You're a badass pirate.
Parley! I invoke the ancient code of parley. I must treat with your captain.
Parley, do you have
What?
an appointment?
Parley! I never make appointments. Then they know when I'm coming.
Parley, may I ask then, what is the nature of this proposed chat with Captain Gilbert?
Parley! To him is in his interest to release the charge.
Parley, that seems like a threat. I thought we were maybe learn some manners, you know? No way we're letting you in with that barbaric attitude.
Damn the ancient and subtle code of parley. Pirate law protects these scallywags, so we can't just fight through.
What of the caster? It still holds accursed power, yes?
Brilliant! That just
Yeah.
might work. Sea creatures probably aren't under the purview of pirate law. Hit them with a hexing.
Hit him with a hexen. Do it. Okay.
Look, their characters made conspicuous by their cowardly carapaces. Now,
Okay. They're crabs. Now we can kill them. Pirate code
Yeah, they're
doesn't
not
say.
Pirates.
pirate law
Nothing says dogs can't play basketball.
through pirate court. A pirate fight.
There's no rule.
Pirate community service. Now to finally kill that beguiling Gilbert and free my lovely LeChance. Onward!
Oh, nice.
And if I did it from
Ready?
the deck, my bones would grow all moldy. No chance away. Away! Bones! You're
Hey.
too late. I have the plot armor and your precious pirate paramour. One wrong move, and LeChance is LeChum.
Bones here? You came. Sure as the tide. Of course I did, my love.
Aw.
I'm tired of listening to you two spill your
Precious.
guts. Crew,
Gay.
spill the intruder's
Okay.
guts.
Kill Gilbert. Windland.
Oh, look at that. I was just in the right spot.
Bound to sail the nether. Time to go.
Yup. Dead. Dead. What else? What else you got?
I can summon my loyal crew from beyond death's reach.
Okay.
It's not too late. We can still save LeChance. Kill the crew.
I'm trying. I gotta get fucking run all the way back up. Oh, look. Whee!
I don't know, enough. We've got like a whole bunch of cages. So a lot of shit.
Ooh. Not feeling good. Not feeling good. Oh, badass. I see it. I see it.
Ouch.
Gotcha.
Thanks. A barrel exploded beside me.
I'll leave you to what's left of your life, and I'll be on me ship if ye wish to join it.
Bum, bum, bum.
A healing potion, eh?
Yeah, healing potion.
An idea.
What are we doing? Check on LeChance. Where's LeChance?
He should be at the
Oh,
bottom.
he's at the bottom.
Chance. Lend was a companion through seas.
Oh no!
I'll miss that body. I worked so hard to firm up that coccyx.
Wait,
But there's no time, Holmes, darling. We've got to stop Gilbert. I don't know how much longer I can weather this storm.
Come, me hearty. The murdering bastard's on his ship, making ready to flee.
okay. Look, oh, over here? Okay. Collect some, well, I guess we don't, there's no actual ticking clock. Collect the treasure that you may need to pick up. I'm doing a quick sweep too. Oh, Al?
Yeah? Can you hear me?
It says you both just left the game.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh no.
Yeah, it
Just
says,
got booted.
That's boot.
it says make sure my Ethernet connection's connected, but I'm showing I'm fine. I'm still
Yeah,
live.
go
I haven't
back
even
up.
dropped any frames.
Yeah, I'm good on this side too.
Oh,
Yeah. Weird.
minor hiccup. It looks like you guys are entering again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder where it's gonna drop
Oh,
you.
man.
Where the fuck are you guys?
Where in the fuck?
Oh, I see, I see.
Hmm.
Here, I'll go back a little bit. Oh, hey, there's a D20 here. And a chest. Uh-oh.
Fun.
Oh, I'm over by the whale. Oh, I see. No, that's not the whale. Just gonna ignore that. Show you guys where that is when you come back. Now, you can remember how to get back.
No,
We're making our way. We gotta fight our way, it looks like.
I'm just running past everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
Oh
And
hell, this looks like a dead end. That was a bad idea.
the entrance is over this way.
Ah,
You gotta... Ooh, let me look at the map. Oh yeah, you're going the wrong way. Oh, somebody's going the right way. Who's that? That's Al. Al's going the right way. Yeah, there's a... I think there's a bridge just a little bit further over. This way. Yeah. Oh, you found it. Okay.
Enemies.
I'm here too. I used the big boy rocket and the guy went flying across the fucking map to a roof. Great. Okay, you gotta do that again. Big boy. Whee! Oh, just disintegrated.
oh wow. Okay.
Oh yeah. Where are you? Resisting. Resist this.
Badass Archmage.
Yeah, we got him. He died. I just spam my blades on him. My cloud of daggers. Ah! Okay. Cool.
A healing potion, eh?
Cool. So, huh? Where? Down there?
Up here.
That's your turn, ain't it?
Yeah, do it.
Oh, yeah? Already?
Yeah.
I did the last one. Ooh, it was 7. I guess I'll grab the purple. Purple. Okay. So the entrance is... Oh, right here. Oh. How did I miss this? Piece of candy. Okay.
Ooh, that might be a slightly better... So, machine gun, whatever.
Oh, I got a point to spend. Gonna spend a point real quick. Boom. What's this? I don't have a companion, so more wisdom. Yay, wisdom. Okay, I'm set.
Okay.
Here we go. Oh, get stuck on geometry.
Apparently, yeah.
Oh, this way. Oh yeah, here it is. Up here.
It's time to end this. Let's see if the witch doctor's hex does the trick. Place the caster and fire away.
Okay.
Wait,
Shit.
what's going on?
What the actual fuck?
Whoa. Wow.
Crap.
All right. That's so. Oh shit. I'm down. I'm trying to back up into one of you. Help. Dave.
Oh, it just knocked me away. Sick.
Ah, shit.
Alright.
Did I get you? Did you get up?
Yeah, I'm up. I'm down and I'm up. It's up.
Sweet LeChance
Fuck
again.
those guys.
Witch doctor, take me home, would you? Just meet me back at the house.
Yay. We fought a ship.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
I mean, not really. I think in other games we fought like trains and shit.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh no, maybe you didn't do that one with me. Oh. Shit.
Oh, I think I did. I do remember that fight where it kept flying through portals and shit. It was weird.
Oh yeah, that was the Krieg. That was the Krieg thing. Yeah, we did do that together. I thought maybe it was the claptrap one.
Suppose we're just popping through this porthole, right?
Yeah, I already have. Whee! Just taking us back to hand in our quest. Let them do their dialogue. Oh.
There's someone here who'd like to see you.
Hmm.
Can you hear me?
Where's Vans?
LeChance!
Oh shit. Okay.
My love, you're free. Free and waiting
I
for
can
you.
see why. Oh,
You always come for me, Bones.
them maps.
Sure is the time. Here you are.
It's too bad that he still has a peg leg.
Yeah, that's
But
weird.
I'm a skeleton, and you be not but ether. We can't
Maybe it was an
truly be
aesthetic
together
choice.
Unless
Maybe.
me matey here just
No, everybody gets body mods. Why are you judging his?
hex me.
Are you certain? I don't think it's reversible.
Sure is sure. Once I'm a fearsome
Oh, that's a neat effect though.
pop right out of me plot armor.
There's like a water effect kind of wavering on the image.
Corporeal bonds.
Alright. I'll hex you. Hex him. I hex thee. So you can join your lover in the afterlife, I guess, or something.
What happened? I'm teeny.
Oh.
I can help with that. Through an ancient, mysterious, and complicated sea sorcery ritual.
Well, don't just stand there talking about it. Get me spirit out of here. If you please.
Sure thing, Bones. Hold still. Bibbidi bam!
It worked. At long last,
What?
I'm free. free of that cursed bony
What happened?
bones.
Why was an extra step involved? I don't know.
Day we met. When
Damn.
I'm with you, I'm the
There, now they can go get pirate sex.
Damn. I
I
want
They-
to watch their sexy ghost pirate sex.
the world for
And if they're pirates, by definition, they're doing crimes.
Yes.
Yes,
they
and
peg
you
each other
know
with
that
those peg
there
legs?
might be a reason he has that peg leg, if
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's some peg.
They both do.
Don't ye forget it. As for you, crew, I bequeath to ye me chest of worldly plunder.
Okay, I'll take a chest.
Be needing it where we're going. 'Tis all yours, me hearty.
Okay. Okay.
It's terrible luck starting a journey without a proper
What a
set.
bunch of garbage.
Okay.
Fine.
Thanks for the treasure. Oh, and good luck with your voyage or whatever.
What? Voyage?
There's definitely some Monkey Island references going here. Freewood has to be a reference to Guybrush Threepwood. And like
Yeah, it is.
Chuck.
Yeah,
Let's get away from
of course.
this. Away, chance away. We'll go away together. Away, chance away. We'll far away go.
No, it's not what I meant to do.
Okay.
No. Okay, we did it. Let's take a look.
Amazing.
There was another one in this area. Oh yeah, the Trial of Crooked-Eyed Phil. It was in the Crackmass Cove. Oh, new points available. What? What do we got? What's this? Frost damage, yes. Done. Easy. Oh yeah. Boom. Right.
I didn't realize I had picked up so much crap. I went into my inventory thinking, oh, that was a picture.
These guys have respawned.
Great.
How dare they?
Oh, you can do your thing. We're fine. We're fine.
I'm done.
It was just as you were saying that I just was like looking at a guy and my brain wasn't registering. I'm like, oh, there's guys here. Shit. This ain't an NPC.
Okay, I'm noticing a pattern.
Further evidence that my theory is correct.
And I don't suppose
Oh,
share that.
those are the totems that we have to destroy. I see.
See.
I see you're dying. I'm coming. Ah.
Come up.
Ooh. That's some good treasure. Where else? Come on. Die already. Come back up. There we go. Okay, there was a bunch of stuff that dropped here. So where were those totems? We saw them around.
I shot at one that was on top of here,
Okay.
and it
Right.
popped.
So there's
and then, yeah.
one more. It might... Let me see. Is it directing us there? Yeah, maybe. Oh, fuck. Damn it, there's more guys right here. Yeah, just over here. I didn't go far. They're all back.
Ah,
No magic left.
there's gunners on my way to you.
Huh? Oof. Yeah. Oh, do you not die? Here, how about now? There you go. Oh, Jesus! The beam of Sauron death. Gee. hot.
Yeah, I love it.
Critical. Fuck, how did you destroy that thing? Oh, fuck, now I'm dead. Dave, right behind you. Can you help me, please? Thank you. I'm up. Let's go. Nope. Where's Al?
Badass pirate captain,
Oh, over where you are. Okay, coming.
Yeah, I'm dying.
Oh, you're back up, eh?
Oh, I'm being revived.
Whee! Pinata time. Here's us. And got you. And a little bit for... Oh, no. Oh, out of ammo. Out of rockets, at least. Ooh, Dave's almost dead.
Cannon greaser.
We're coming, Dave. Okay, so how are we supposed to destroy this? How did you destroy it? You shot it?
I shot at it.
Maybe you...
Oh, fire.
Ooh. Oh, how's that? Yeah. Melee it? Try meleeing it.
Yep.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
Protect the boat.
Just as I theorized.
Oh, is it? Is it really? Or are you just saying that now that
I don't need your approval.
Ugh, whatever. Now that we've destroyed the evidence, let's
Okay.
get up to the jail and defend our client.
Oh yeah, we were like midway into this one. Okay.
Oh, I altered cease and stand back. Ain't allowed in here.
What?
I don't think.
Yes, we are.
Thank you for ridding us of them evil totems. The only folk allowed through here are pirate prisoners, pirate jailers, pirate judges, and pirate lawyers.
I'm a pirate lawyer.
So happens, I am a pirate lawyer here to defend Phil. Passed the YAR exam.
Okay.
Everything.
Oh, well, la-di-da, my mistake, your esquireness. Suppose I'll let you through then.
Oh,
Good luck defending that crooked eye Phil character, though. You're gonna need it. That guy's more evil than evil. That's the evil lord of evil. Or my name ain't Charles Finbreaker. Which it is.
I'm probably gonna have to stop soon, guys.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's an earlier night for me because I'm fucking pooped. But if you guys have time tomorrow or the next day, I could probably play.
Okay. Well, where do you wanna end? Do you want to finish this whole thing off, or before we get?
Yeah, let's finish this off.
Or even just get a tick or two.
But yeah, I'm happy to work on this a bit.
Okay.
We'll see how
no
far it
pressure.
gets.
Oh, Google's talking to me. I'm like, what's the voice in the room?
That's for you.
Badass what? 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 Ooh, I heard a ting. Nope. Not that kind of thing. Ooh, got some slow-mo.
Lived if you'd run.
Fuck, another badass pirate. God damn it.
Ooh, I'm getting some jumpy frames now.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Buddy. And I'm back up. Ooh, backing up. Okay. Smoothed out a little bit. It's only when I'm looking in this one direction. Ah. Fuck y'all.
Gonna need more magic.
Just 2 more totems? Are you fucking kidding me? Alright. You kill it? Oh, you gotta fucking bash it. Ow.
Not dead. Just a whole lot angrier.
Yeah. Got it.
A mighty
There
win.
we go. No, you leave Mushroom alone, please. So many pirates. That's a badass. Jeez.
Smoke for check. Now that's the good stuff.
Where the fuck is it? Did you get it? Oh, no. There we go. Oh shit, oh shit. Can't survive that. There we go. Yeah. Whew. Blimey.
Found a chest.
Huh? Oh, I see. Oh, nice. That was a good haul. A lot of purple on that.
Can you believe it? Long bronze.
Oh, another chest.
Invited me to a salty little shindig at the safe house. Pembrokes and gals
Garbage.
really know how to throw a party. There were shanties and dancing and all the virgin grog you could drink. Gilbert was
Virgin grog?
when he asked me to join his crew, but I couldn't
Because it
really
can't
meet
be.
my brother on his own
Because
like
it's
that.
gotta be pop or virgin grog.
Yeah, that's
It's only Shirley Temples for these pirates.
Well, it's up to them if they want to be that way.
Yeah? Yeah.
Now to find
That's
our
true.
client. Maybe he's still stuck in that box.
Ah, more pirates. Who'd have saw that coming? Wee, you dead. Are you up? You're up. You're not up. Come here, quartermaster. I should...
Whoa.
They below us? No.
Sling spells no more.
Alright, I'm gonna have to ignore the ones that have down arrows. I can't tell what's here and what's not. Yeah, this is real tough on the frame rate. For all of us. This is weird.
I'm getting a respectable 40. I don't know what you're talking about.
I need to waste my ammo on you assholes. Okay, those ones are below ground. Ignoring them. Oh, badass pirate thing. Damn it. Oh, shit. Shit. Wrong thing. Oh! Whoa. Almost fell. What is that? I don't want to go down there. Oh.
Oh, it's a coiled impaler.
Is she just trapped in the ground?
She's just down there.
Okay.
There's a marble of mine nearby.
Oh,
Go and crack it open.
who found the marble? Who's near it?
I can't figure out how to get to it. I'm missing
Over there?
something here. Like right below it.
Well, there's a lot of things above us. Could it be higher up?
Must be.
Yeah, it's much higher up.
Oh, I think I see it.
Break it up.
There's a ladder here.
Ah! Okay. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Ooh, ooh,
There's a chest up here too.
nice. Ooh. Ah, not a great spot. Okay, so where's the thing that we're on plane level with it? Oh, you found it. There. Nice.
He asked me.
Hey, something new.
Normal today.
Livery lemon chrome.
He told me about a ritual that could give both of us what we wanted. A bonding
Where are y'all?
spell.
Oh,
There.
Not
yeah,
exactly
we're
the kind
doing
of
this.
bonding I had in mind, but he seems excited. It does sound like it could make us both happy. As long as he does it right.
Good for her.
Help me out, you savvy?
Okay, more pirates.
Fought like rubbish. Died nicely though.
Okay, where the fuck are we going? Oh my goodness. Where's our client? We have to climb this building, right? Oh wait, no, he's over there. He's across the way. Past it.
Hey, Phil.
Way past it. Here it is. Hey, there's a guy.
There's no reply. He ain't in there. He gone.
Damn, they must have moved him to the jail already. Let's track him down.
Then I guess we'll have to figure out how to get up there.
There appears to be only one way
She is a
forward.
dog.
Oh man, I hope it's not another puzzle.
Nope.
Precarious cliffside platforming!
Oh, great!
Okay, well, over here. I want to make it to.
I'm glad that I've got a sore finger. This is gonna go great.
What? What's going on? Why is your finger sore now? Because of the
well, I have it.
the cysts or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
The jail appears locked up. From its a little bitty bottom to its sweet tippy top.
Yeah. There's always a way in, though. Well, unless it's one of those buildings where the bunker master hasn't designed the interior. Those are just decorative.
What are you even talking about, Fred?
Just being meta.
You are so weird.
Okay. Oh, I see. There's this side entrance. Right here.
That wall looks kind of weak.
Oh, it does indeed.
Sometimes when I can't find a door, I just make one.
Really? What's that spell called?
Oh, no, I mean, like, with an explosion.
You're just a simple little man, aren't you?
I'm not little!
Okay, you see a cannon.
Wow, really just giving it away there, huh?
Well, I didn't want
Where
you
is
to be
it?
stuck. Being stuck sucks butt.
Where
Over
is it?
here.
Ah, I see. Shoot me.
Dang it. I fell off the side. I can't.
Knucklehead. We still gotta find our client. So I've been reviewing the statutes of pirate law, and their legal definition of evil is pretty open to interpretation.
Oh, yeah? Where would I find that if I wanted to give it a little look-see?
Appendix R.
Ha!
What?
As far as... Oh, shit!
Oh, I get it.
Do you?
Barrel took me out. Damn it. Alright, I'm back up. Okay.
Such a gorgeous mushroom.
Quarter.
Ow.
Oh no, my inventory is full. How did that?
Nope. Grenade. Are you not dead, cannon greaser? There, now you are. Yeah. Oh, okay. Too easy. Oh, jeez. Point blank with a rocket launcher is just a lot.
Just.
Ooh, nice. Purple. I think we're almost at. Yeah, we're almost at the top. Nice. Oh, there's the stairs. Beepity bop. Got it.
Stabby, stabby!
Stabby, stabby.
Never get tired. Bill, you in there?
And out of the swirling darkness of the corner steps,
Yeah.
a super duper normal looking hombre.
Oh my gosh, you
Where
actually
is he?
came. I've
Oh, there he
always
is.
done for. Did you find my certificate?
Indeed, friend. Got it right here.
Well, that's a relief. Have you developed a defensive strategy? They'll be calling my case any moment now.
Hear me, hear me. This be Judge Boyle. Sending the one known as Crooked Eye Phil.
Hey, come on now. It's just Phil. You guys are the only ones who call me that.
Shut up, nerd.
Oh.
Jerk.
I heard that.
Oh, sweet. There's a selling station and everything, right? And looks like right before we're supposed to go, so we can stop over there.
Report to the courthouse at
Wait.
once.
All right, I'm gonna go over there. Whee! And boom. And yeah, it's a full fast travel. Perfect.
Cool.
Here, I'm just gonna map us back to Brighthoof.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I was in the menu. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, sorry, my finger's starting to get real sore there, and I'm like, I should probably stop.
Oh, no worries, friend. I understand. But thanks for playing as much as you did. This was fun.
Yeah, it was
We haven't
good.
done this in a while, and it felt really good to reconnect doing this. Miss this.
We'll do more.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a quest and almost a whole second quest done, and we did an extra obelisk. So we accomplished some things. Good.
Oh yeah, Dave. What are your plans for Christmas?
I don't know. Sit around being grinchy. I'm
Well, we
not
gotta
going
all
home to
hang out
visit
and
family,
stuff.
so yeah.
Yeah, that's why I just wanted to double check that you're around.
Yeah, we'll be.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will talk to y'all soon. Elle, you're coming to visit, and we'll connect again online to see when that's gonna be.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause yeah. I love you guys.
Love you too. Get some rest. Hope you feel better.
Okay.
Don't die.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night. I think I got cosmetic. Did I get a cosmetic that I actually don't know? There's so few and far between now. Yes. Are you gone too, Dave?
Life's not the same without the queen.
All right. Well, we'll just go for a few minutes here.
They're a hot mess if I ever saw one.
Hear that over and over again. Not interested in your blue rings.
Life's not the same without the queen. Who will I worship
No.
now? The elder gods? They're a hot mess if I ever saw one.
Okay, what's this garbage? Garbage. That looks kind of fun.
Gotta remember to use my coupons before I expire.
Before I expire? Okay, that's a good line. I don't think I've heard that one yet.
The haunted shack's the only place I can afford here. At least I'm never alone.
Jolting 8 PC. Yep. You know I don't mean a word of it. On a spell cast, increase lightning damage by 30% for 5
Life's
seconds.
not the same without the queen.
But it doesn't do lightning damage.
Now, the elder gods?
Oh,
They're
weird.
a hot mess if I ever saw one.
What will we do without a queen? Rule ourselves? Like equals?
Okay.
But just looking extra beefy today. I like it.
Every village has an idiot. To find them, look into the reflective waters of the well. Idiots always get stuck in there.
That's not me. I'm not Spore Warden.
I've never been to a noble's ball, but I've seen plenty of them, and I can tell you right now, they're cramped and sweaty.
Okay. So we got 4 weapons here. So let's... Here. There. Alright. 2 necklaces and a couple of weapons. Let's check it out. It's a lot easier to manage. Stabomancer. Huh. Okay. That's 1. So all damage dealt 10%. What am I using right now then? So the same percentage. It's upping my poison damage, which I am doing with my shotgun, so that's cool. 20% action skill cooldown rate, that's amazing. Gun handling, I don't care. Status effect damage, frost damage. Thing is I do a lot of frost damage. But I don't use my Stabomancer power, I use my Berserker power. Oh, what did I do? What's the other one? Berserker, okay. Frost damage, okay. 40% gun magazine size.
Feeling bored. Might mess around and see if I can't get foot stocks.
Okay, that's max ammo. So 40% more of 12? It's 40%. Okay, well, what's 10%? 1.2 times 4. 4.8.
Should have to taste like feet? I swear.
So it would get me to like a 16 or even a 17 for the night. That's interesting. What about like 9? 9 times 4, 36, 3. So probably bring it up to like a 12. Meh. Nothing to scoff at. It increases my frost damage. That's the only thing is this thing doesn't do frost. That doesn't do frost. That doesn't do frost. What does frost? Do I just do it passively, right? Does this do frost damage? Oh. Okay. A lot of stuff that works with frost. Am I not taking advantage of it? Do I need to? Oh no. Oh, here we go. Whenever the Fate Maker melee attacks an enemy, there is a chance to release a Frost Nova, dealing frost ability damage to nearby enemies. Frost Nova cannot critically hit. Oh, damn it. Melee damage dealt. That's not a lot. Even if it's being buffed by a bunch of other things. Okay, so this is bullshit. Dealing frost ability damage to all nearby. So this isn't doing that. This right here would do. Huh. What's the percentage? Kill threshold. 20, so they gotta be pretty low. Ability damage. Interesting. It's pretty hefty. I do like this one though, this Deadwind. I might try this one out again. But not right now. Okay. So with that in mind, I need to be doing frost damage. Shit. All right, let's switch to this thing. There we go. Just selling it. Fuck it. So none of these do frost, and neither does this. Amazing. Light color, can't even use that. Okay. Delete all those. And weapon. Okay. Give me frost. No, but not green. Yeah. Do I have any more keys? No, I used them all. I guess I can check the inn. I gotta go check my skin out anyway, but... Oh, let me just get... This is new. I swear this is new. Huh. Cool. We got 2 of them coiled around the archway. That's neat. What's my primary color here? Okay, it's this one. Okay, where's my new color? Hey, it's another version of gold. Nothing. Oh. That looked kind of epic. Not really her style, but it's almost like a epic level version of her. That doesn't quite work. I wish it did. Yeah, it's totally fine like that. Okay. Opening anything else? No. 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 Cool. And this is it. Last chance for anything good. So that. Okay. Oh, jeez. Go hard. Wow. Okay. Come on, pick it all up. There we go. What we got? Volcanic pulsating elemental blast fire. No, thank you. Okay, what the hell is this? Ice spike of the huntswoman. Hold to repeat cast. 2 charges. How's that stack up? Look at that. Calamity of severity. 3,000. Slightly higher chance to get 53 damage a second. Has a better critical chance, which is cool because I can up that with a lot of my own stuff. Much faster cooldown, and you get 2 castings of it. Okay. We're optimizing this build. I feel like I'm hearing music, but I can't tell from where. Those. No and no. No to whatever that is. Oh, hey. Look at that. You ask and you shall receive. Oh, no. So, worse everything, but shots to break 2. What is that? Unlimited magazine size weapon heats up. Will eventually break. Yeah, after 2 shots. It does a lot of frost damage with a pretty good percent chance. And I can never tell in looking at these numbers if that's the number before all my abilities increase it or if that's the resultant number. That wouldn't make sense though. I don't know. Sorry. Oh yeah, the thrown weapon homes in does the dagger storm. I do like that way more. Try it though. Oh, it's way more than 2 shots. Actually, yeah, let's try to see how long does it last? Because it's got unlimited magazine size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Not bad. Oh, I didn't count the ammo. Alright, so 792. $739. 80, no. 50 something? So it has an effectively what? Shoot 10 rounds a second? Fire rate 5 rounds a second. Okay. That's a lot of... Okay. You know what? I'll do... Guns with wings. Okay. I'm going to hang on to this one. I'm going to try it out. But I'm going to hang on to the other one because the dagger storm is almost too good to give up. sell the rest.
Ha ha!
Haha! Haha! Yeah, let's try the new spell out.
Ice fire!
Oh
Our
yeah.
spell slots!
Came back pretty quick. One comes back. Hold it down to cast multiple. Interesting. How long before it gets another one? Be the same amount of time? Oh yeah, I see it refilling. Oh no, that takes a bit longer. Oh no, it's just not counting down. Boom, 2. Alright. I mean, the bar is filling up, but it's not making the sound. Okay, so that's... I got some frost damage there. I got some frost damage there. I think that's fine. We'll see how that goes. 4 million. Ooh. I can go buy an upgrade. Let's go buy an upgrade. It's about time. Excuse me, didn't mean to stare. Okay, so I can afford a few things here. Shotgun's good. Rocky's better. Okay, yeah, pistol and shotgun, those are the expensive ones. That's what I've been upgrading. Let's do shotgun for sure. Oof. And then I can do that. No. I guess for completionist sake, I should buy it. There. I didn't need that. I should have gone. I should, in retrospect, should have gone that. Whatever. Okay. Oh, one last trip to the damn ammo machine. The dammo machine. No, no, no. Good thing I'm ending the stream. Brain shouldn't come up with that. Okay. Oh, 231 total. Or 240 total. Okay, looks like we're all set. Yay. Alright, well, thanks for joining me if you're watching on this final stream on Twitch. Yeah. Leaving Twitch and going to shut this down. I might not delete the account completely or anything. I might just stop posting over here. I'm thinking of putting like a little video explainer saying, hey, go to youtube.com/@LM Gaming. That's ELLEEMM Gaming. And as of tomorrow, I'll have the ability to start streaming there, and we'll see how that goes. Unfortunately, a lot of technology is geared towards supporting Twitch and not YouTube, so it'll be a little bit of a struggle. OBS is fine, but I just mean like other things like Macro Deck doesn't have a plugin for it, and I'm worried about some of my stream element stuff, but I'll figure that out. That's up for me to figure out. But yeah, thanks for sticking with me on this, and yeah, go join me over on YouTube. Give me a sub on there if you can, please. Check out some of the past videos, my horror hardcore series and Minecraft, where I try to asterisks survive in a absolutely terrifying zombie infested world that gets really super dark at night, and I can't sleep. And the zombies will try to eat me. And I tried to survive to 100 days. And that one's really fun to do. I just started doing some more Civilization. Civilization 4. the classic. I have a space modded one, the Final Frontier mod, that I think I might continue on this on to stream. I mean, not here, but to stream. And I have some indie games I want to check out soon, as well as on the horizon, maybe some VR content. I've got a headset. I used to stream it, but it's complicated and doesn't always work great. So I just got to make sure everything is set up 100% perfectly, test it out a whole bunch, and then yeah, maybe I'll stream again that content. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other, and have a good night.